Something that will change your perspective on relationships is when you realize that the highest form of love is consideration. Consideration is the quiet way someone says, I was thinking about you when you weren't even looking. I know that social media has confused this thought a lot, but love is not always these big grand gestures. It's in the small things that nobody ever claps for. I'm talking like grabbing an extra set of napkins when you're out to eat because that person knows that you always forget. Someone turning down the volume as soon as you start talking. Instantly seeing that your hands are full and then them just taking things out of your hands without you asking. Giving you the window seat on the airplane because they know that you love the view.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
Well, I got a question for you there, sweetheart. How is that supposed to change your perspective on love and relationships? All we ever hear from modern women is how men need to remember to do the small things, those things that men are just expected to do without knowing he's supposed to do them. These things can include anything from keeping the toilet seat down to opening up the car door because you're terrified of being attacked by door ninjas. This is stuff you just magically expect men to do because movies taught you this is how love is supposed to be. And anytime he doesn't meet those expectations, the fantasy is shattered and that man automatically becomes inconsiderate, uncaring, or a dreaded narcissist. It's not a love language, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's merely an excuse for you to keep score anytime a man forgets to do something, because if you don't have meaningless drama in your life,
it's not romantic because it's grand and big. It's romantic because it's aware. Because they remembered, they noticed, they cared without being told to. Love lives in the details, and I promise you that the details are never random. They are intentional. If you want to know if someone genuinely loves you, look at the things that they do for you when no one else is watching. Consideration isn't just simply showing up. It's thinking about how showing up affects the person that you love. True love lives in the pause, in that extra little thought. The invisible adjustment made for your comfort. That is the highest form of love. If that person does not think about how their actions and their words affect you, they do not love you. That is not love.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Lady, I have got 54 intergalactic space cents that I will gladly mail to you in the form of a money order if you can give me an accurate definition of what love is supposed to be like. But to be fair, you are going to have to cover the postage, because that's what a considerate woman would do. You've pretty much told every man out there that if he wants to get with you, he needs to make your life feel like a movie fantasy. He's just supposed to know what to do, what to say, and when to do both, and if he doesn't, then he's not a good man. You've created an all or nothing scenario that's pretty much forcing that dude to walk through a minefield that's lined with bear traps, all while trying to avoid an endless barrage of empty beer bottles being thrown by petulant children and modern women. So, in other words, just modern women. No man is willing to go through that because you've made it clear that you're only willing to be with a dude if he takes care of anything. And I hate to break it to you, sister, I'd rather take a beer bottle to the face than try to figure out how to navigate a relationship with you.
That's funny because it's so true.
Honestly, you guys, though, like, realistically, if you would have told 15-year-old me that I would be 25, single, never having a boyfriend, and still living at home, oh, she would be pissed. She would be so mad. I really thought I was gonna turn 25 and, like, have kids and a house and, like, be married. And just to add on top of it, I wanted to be a YouTuber so bad back in the day. So if you would have told me that, like, I would get views one day on the internet, but that's why, oh, she's pissed. Me now, don't care. Say it loud and proud, and that's why I talk about it, because I don't care. But 15-year-old me, she's definitely not happy. Like, who's gonna tell her one of her most viewed videos is because she's 25, single, lives at home, and never has had a boyfriend? That's the triple threat right there. Oh, she's definitely so mad.
Botched. I botched that one. Oh, that's a botched job.
Oh, wow, that is interesting. If I told my 15-year-old self that I'd be a modern woman commentator and intergalactic bounty hunter, he'd tell me to get the hell out of his house before he puts a particle blast through my kneecap. But I guess my dream's just a little bit more realistic. And I hate to break it to you, sister, but if you have an overwhelming desire to go back a decade and tell yourself that you've become a professional life failure, then not only are you not okay with it, you also have a tremendous amount of regret for screwing your life up so so badly that you have somehow managed to botch up something as simple as finding a good guy and settling down. You need to understand something. Despite all of the advantages that you had, and trust me, you had way more than you deserved, you still figured out a way to completely botch up something that women have been doing for literally thousands of years. But hey, at least you got those YouTube vids to fall back on. I guess those will keep you warm at night. Your cat sure as hell won't.
This might be the craziest thing I've ever said, but I firmly believe everyone should have a starter marriage. At the point of my divorce grief process where I'm able to look at that chapter with so much gratefulness, which I never thought I'd say. I have been deep in mourning. I really thought the resentment would get the best of me. It sounds crazy to say, but getting divorced has just made me such a more layered, interesting person. Also made me a lot smarter with how I move in the world and what I give my emotions to and what I don't. Things that used to feel so significant really don't matter now. This has been especially important with dating because the things that I would be seeing as so important and I would be so dogmatic about, barely even think about now. And I know what matters in a relationship. Unless I'd been through that marriage, I wouldn't have that lens to look at life through. Honestly, I wouldn't wish divorce upon anyone. Literally, I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. I no longer see my divorce as a failure. It's helping pave the way for the person that I want to be in the life I want to have. If you've been through a divorce, I don't want you to think of it as a failure. I want you to think of it as a necessary chapter in your life that helped you get to where you're going to be. I keep having to remind myself of that because I'm scared. I know I'm still healing. I know I'm still growing. I know it's gonna be okay.
You have failed conclusively. It's over. And there is nothing that you can do here in this room that can turn that around.
A starter marriage? Lady, do you even know what that means? You're pretty much telling society that you're entitled to another lavish party and celebration of your existence. You feel like you deserve another chance to have some poor schmuck pay for you, give you a house, and put up with your insolence. But let me ask you something, sister. Do you believe that people should get starter licenses for driving? You know, just a document that legally allows you to drive, but still gives you the right to drive erratically, cause endless amounts of property damage, and dabble in vehicular manslaughter? Okay, I take that one back. Considering that this is just what a modern woman does behind the wheel, maybe it's not the most apt of metaphors, but still, you broke your vows of loyalty to the first guy when you decided that you deserved better, and now you're talking about having a second chance with a new dude. But answer me this, sweetheart, you've already proven that you are disloyal when you got your divorce, so why should the next guy be any better? He won't, and that's because there isn't a self-respecting man who's willing to be with a woman who believes she's entitled to a dumbass starter marriage.
I know it, your family knows it. Dogs know it.
I need somebody to explain to me how my boyfriend of 3 years was able to break up with me, move out the same day, and is now currently pissed off if I try to reach out to him. He's mad at me. And we didn't have a bad relationship.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
We got along for the most part. We just got into a fight and then he just left and now he literally hates me. And there was nothing said on my part.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
Actually, he said some stuff, and from that he's like, I don't deserve you. But if your stance is you're breaking up with me because I don't deserve you, why are you being so mean to me? Why are you being so rude to me? I tried to call to reconcile and work things out because I'm a lover girl, and he was mad. He was pissed off that I reached out to him. So someone.
A smelly fish.
And it's not a card.
Oh, I can explain that one to you fairly easily, sister. You're just a liar, and a god-awful one at that, and self-respecting men don't have much patience for those. It's awfully convenient how you're able to just leave out so many details about your relationship so that you're somehow just some innocent bystander of your boyfriend's random rage. And if he's being mean to you unexpectedly, then it would stand to reason that you were mean first. And not only were you mean to the point where he wanted nothing to do with you anymore. We all know this because if he was actually a terrible boyfriend, boyfriend, you'd be airing out all of your dirty laundry with hyper-exaggerated language to milk it for as much internet sympathy as possible. But you're sitting there all calm and pretending like you're somehow the victim of your own toxic tomfoolery. So in other words, if you're going to try to make yourself look like you're innocent in this breakup, then you're going to need to learn how to lie better, sister.
It's not you, it's me. No, actually, it's not me. It is you.
Hey, single girl in her 30s here. Men will really say anything and make any excuse to see a pretty woman who's single in her 30s and blame it on everything that that woman has done instead of like the circumstances or maybe like fucking toxic men like them. I saw comments like, she definitely partied too much throughout her 20s. She definitely left a really good man and now she's just eating her dust and eating her words. No, how about I don't want to go for fucking incompetent men like you. Loser men like you. Let's start there.
No.
Woman, you are getting triggered by internet comments. You are in no position to judge us. Now, the only reason why we say stuff is because you insist on going online and bashing all of us for your terrible life decisions, and when we call out some fairly obvious facts, you just call us toxic and incompetent. But here's the solution. If you don't want to be called out, then stop posting about it on the friggin' internet. Now, if you want to talk context about why you are the ugly-ass cretin that you are, do you think you could let us in on some, maybe? I mean, if your active decision to get run through by Chad, Tyrone, Raphael, Marco, Pookie, Ray Ray, Gavin, Chang, Wang, Takeda, and Yankee Doodle Dandy was so unique, then you'd think you'd start off with that instead of your petty excuse for insults. But you don't do that, because your story is no different from the tens of thousands of you who are out there completely screwing up something as simple as human pair bonding.
Okay? No, all of that is incorrect. Okay? And who fucking cares? It's just, you see a prettier woman and you're like, oh, well, no shit, she can be taken. Like, it's all on her. It's all her. Okay, sorry, I have fucking standards. Sorry, I want to be attracted to someone. Sorry, I want to be respected. Sorry, I don't want to fucking be with an incompetent man. Sorry, I don't want to be fucking that man's mother. God fucking forbid. Y'all think it's so fucking easy, probably because you're in fucking miserable relationships or fucking marriages and your wives fucking hate you because you actually are an asshole. And you want to take it out on someone on the internet. That's what you want to do. So that's fucking crazy. Men will really make any excuse for a single woman to be single than just like looking inward a little bit and being like, yeah, we're sometimes a problem. We're sometimes a fucking problem. It's crazy.
Emotional damage.
Oh, you're forgetting something, sister. It is easy. There's a reason why you get to live your life on easy mode after all. We have literally millions upon millions of ancestors who can tell you that for a woman, it is fairly easy to find a good dude, settle down, have a family, and not descend into madness where you feel the need to spew out profanity every time a dude calls you out for the facts. And when you feel so offended that you need to assume that every man who calls you out is just doing it to hurt you, it just proves that we're right. You're not choosing to be single. The dating market has chosen that for you after you decided that you were entitled to men that wouldn't even bother remembering your name if you paid him $20. Because unlike you, that man has standards, and he's also not pathetically broke, which is why you'll be 50 and still posting this crap, and the fine members of the bounty board over on Patreon will always be thriving. These are some of the best damn patrons a dude could ever ask for, and I cannot thank you enough, and I salute you. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the bounty board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment down below.
I just saw a post on here and it was a sex worker and she said, oh, I just worked a bachelor party.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
Don't get married. Women don't get married. Like, all men are terrible, you know. And there's a whole bunch of comments of men, of course, saying, not all men, not all men, not all men, not all men. And any man that comes into a space where a woman is venting to say not all men need to shut the fuck up. If you're a man watching this, I'm going to try to explain this, and I'm going to use an example because I know for a lot of you, your critical thinking skills are not all there.
Whoa, that is some deep dish racism, motherfucker.
I am a white passing individual, okay? If I saw a person of color venting about their negative experiences with white people, would I then go on their post and say, not all white people are like that? Not all white people, not me. No, like I'm one of the good ones. Like I would never, I'm not racist.
You need to face the fact. You're a racist. A racist. You, not me. I'm not the racist.
Well, yeah, you are kind of a racist. You're a racist because you're virtue signaling to an entire group of people just so you can have an excuse to bash men for crimes that they didn't commit. Now, if you're going to be posting hate on the internet, anybody that you're discriminating against, regardless of race, genderisms, or creed, is well within their right to defend themselves. Now, we're not saying we're the good ones. We're just sick and tired of lonely, bitter old hags such as yourself going online and trying to say that you should have the right to be able to shit all over us because you saw a video on something. When we say not all men, we're saying that we're not going to allow you to drag our names through the mud just because you're butthurt that the cult you joined isn't giving you the future that was promised. You're old, you're miserable, and you refuse to take accountability, and we're not going to sit by idly as you talk down to us while expecting us to continue to provide the lifestyle that you take for granted, sweetheart. So I would choose my words a little bit more carefully if I were you. It's the internet, and everybody's got a right to be a jerk in these parts.
Do you know what my job is when I see a video like that?
No, and I don't care.
It's to sit down, shut up, listen to the person talking about their lived experiences and generational trauma caused by people who look like me. Amplify, so interact with the post so that it gets more traction. Do I need to go and try to invalidate someone on their, it is our job in that situation to listen.
Shut up, you don't exist.
Woman, you have made it clear that your job is just to endlessly complain that all men are making your life miserable. You're just trying to make it a race issue because you don't have a leg to stand on and you freaking know it. Now, I know that your critical thinking skills are laughable on the best of possible days, but try to keep up. Let's say that day in and day out, people are calling you a shoplifter, that you're a filthy, broke-ass little thief that just walks into stores, takes what she wants, and walks out without paying. Then you have to hear that all women do this, and because you're a woman, that makes you a shoplifter. Would you sit there, listen intently, and then try to do better? Well, of course you wouldn't. You'd be calling those people misogynists, and that not all women are serial shoplifters who are hell-bent on destroying small businesses. The same rules apply for whenever you blindly assume that we're all nothing but a bunch of violent criminals. But because we don't have the same chromosomes as you, that just makes us freaking evil. It truly is a convenient life that you've made for yourself, sweetheart.
It is our job to go to our communities and talk to the other fuck-ass white people. That's racist! It is our job to have difficult conversations. It is our job to do work. It is not our job to invalidate someone else's lived experiences just to make ourselves feel better. So to the men who go on these posts, no, not all men, not all men. I'm sorry, but you not being a rapist and or murderer doesn't mean that you're a good person. And if you can't understand that, you're proving my point.
Whoa. I don't see how you can say that it's not fair to invalidate other people's lived experiences when you're openly invalidating the experiences of everyday men. I mean, you said it yourself. Even if a man doesn't murder, doesn't force himself on anybody, and actually contributes to society, that doesn't make him a good man. So what in the hell does? What makes a man good? Whenever a man says it's not all men, so shut up, you turn around and say that he may not have forced himself on anybody, but he knows somebody who did. Or he does nothing when he sees it happening, or he's actively covered up the crime because of the bro code. You set it up so that no matter what a man says, you feel like you're the morally superior one. So you hurl baseless accusations at us. When we say not all men, we're trying to prove a point. Men are sick and tired of being accused of these horrific crimes. It's insulting, demeaning, and hurtful. It's a disgusting notion, and we have every right to call you out for your idiocy. And the fact that you had to go on an extremely racist rant just to get out of saying anything meaningful just shows that you've proven our point. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.